Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take a look here at TAO, see what's going on. We're at 330, still pulling back. Probably best to presume it's going to continue just based on the overall sentiment here. But we're going to look at some key levels here. We're in a heavy volume accumulation zone, and we're going to take a look at the back-end data too. So if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, comment below, join us over at cryptocash.tech as well. If you're curious about becoming a better trader, links down below there. I have a trading academy, community, and signals group. Furthermore, 310 to 330, that's kind of what I want to talk about here. That's that local area of liquidation. And from a macro perspective, 320 makes a little bit more sense here for us to be able to hit that sweep of those late longs. So just keep in mind, it may not happen, but for the most part, liquidation levels keep getting swept because people just keep buying the dips, not being patient enough to wait for Bitcoin to bottom out. I do think we're starting to bottom out in the 103K range, but once more with all the war stuff going on, it's probably best to assume we're going to go lower. Liquidation delta also gives us that presumption with it being so high, 60 million to the downside. We have the most amount of shorts we've seen since the last bottom on the 25th of June. So, or sorry, not 17th of June, rather. That was roughly about 4 days ago. So we have essentially established a lower low since then. Not always a good look. We're going to talk about what we need to see in order to get a reversal coming. But at this point, we're in a descending type of trend, and 340 is that local resistance for us based on open interest. We can see the most amount of volume here at about 367. That's an area or a threshold we want to get above to have any confidence in taking a trade. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here and kind of just recognize this obvious descending trend and just kind of, be mindful that we're not in like a good position just yet to take a long, but I feel like we're getting close, okay? We still have our macro type of bullish type of breakout pattern here. This type of pattern does tend to break to the upside. It's a descending, broadening wedge. These patterns, we saw the same thing with Bitcoin in the 55 to 74K range before it took off to 100,000. So just because it's a pattern doesn't mean it's going to happen. We need a lot of things that need to consistently occur with it, but this is a good start. However, we're still below all moving averages. There's nothing here that's like a hidden bullish convergence that most people are probably going to be talking about. Okay, so I'm always going to shoot you straight, never going to tell you what you want to hear. The truth is, taking a long position right now is super risky. However, unlike other coins, this descending trend, the lower highs are getting closer together. So we really just need to get a closure above 340 for a couple of days, better case scenario 365, and then continue higher from there. So this is basically the best consideration for entry would be 365 once everything is kind of calmed down in the market. Are we going to get that? No, it's never going to work out that exact. But the truth is, you're better off waiting for a slightly higher price point that establishes higher lows and higher highs, and at that point, consider taking a long. But if you're a super risk taker, maybe consider buying this dip. This is a 0.5 fib level on the macro, so we could start seeing some slowing pressure here soon. But once more, with this liquidation here being below the price action at 320, that seems like a logical next stop. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at there. Hope you learned something today. I'll comment below if you did. Join us over at Bitunix too, folks. No KYC or VPN required. These guys are phenomenal. The best exchange we've used in 2 years. We've been using them steady the entire time. Join us over on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord too. We got playout charts and a whole lot of good content there, essentially available for you if you want to go ahead and consider joining. We'll look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks so much again for your time. We'll see you again soon. Take care.